Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's story is one that'll make you question everything about love, loyalty, and how well we ever truly know someone. It's called My Wife's Double Life, the truth that shattered our marriage. Buckle up, because this one is pure emotional chaos wrapped in betrayal, secrets, and the cold taste of revenge. It all started a year ago, when I thought my life was finally perfect. I'm Daniel, 36, a software entrepreneur from London. My wife, Claire, was everything a man could dream of: beautiful, sharp, and with a charm that could make an entire room go silent. We'd been married for 6 years, and while things weren't always smooth, I believe we had built something strong. But the truth is, she was building something else entirely. It began subtly: late nights at work, phone calls she'd taken in another room, and that new perfume I hadn't seen before. You know that gut feeling you try to ignore, because your heart doesn't want to accept what your brain already knows? That was me. Every red flag waved in front of my face, and I smiled, pretending it was fine. She'd tell me, "Daniel, you're overthinking again." And I believe her, because love makes fools out even the smartest men. Then one day, everything started unraveling. I came home early from a conference, a surprise visit. I thought. The house smelled of wine and candles. There was music playing softly upstairs. My heart raced. I thought maybe she was planning something romantic. But when I walked up, I heard a voice. A man's voice. Deep, confident. And then hers, giggling. My world froze. I didn't barge in. I stood there, listening to my wife whisper words I thought were only mine. It wasn't just betrayal. It was humiliation in my own home. But instead of storming in, I walked away quietly, because something inside me told me it wasn't time yet. I needed to know the full truth. Who was he? Why was she doing this? And more importantly, how long had this been going on? I hired a private investigator the next day. What he uncovered over the next 2 weeks destroyed the man I was. Claire wasn't just having an affair. She was living a double life. She had another phone, another apartment under her maiden name, and even a secret bank account. The man she was with wasn't some random fling. He was my business partner, Marcus. Together, they were planning to drain my company's funds and run off abroad. Emails, documents, and transactions all pointed to one horrifying truth. She'd been preparing my downfall for months. My wife, the woman who once cried at my father's funeral, was plotting to steal everything I had built. But here's where the story turns. I didn't confront her. I played along. I went home that evening, hugged her, kissed her forehead, and said I wanted to take a break from work to focus on us. She smiled like an actress, unaware that every move she made from then on was being watched. I secretly transferred my assets, restructured the company under a trust, and ensured that if she tried to withdraw or sign anything, it would trigger a red alert. 3 weeks later, Claire said she needed to go on a retreat with friends. I smiled and told her to take the car. But that night, I followed her quietly. She didn't go to any retreat. She went to a luxury villa Marcus owned on the outskirts of the city. I watched them through tinted glass as they toasted champagne, laughing like villains in a bad movie. My heart didn't break anymore. It hardened. That night, I called my lawyer. I had everything: photos, recordings, bank statements, her fake identity. Within 48 hours, my attorney filed for divorce and initiated legal action against Marcus for fraud. But here's the best part. When they both woke up the next morning, the company accounts were frozen, their secret stash was gone, and police were knocking at Marcus's door. Claire tried calling me dozens of times. I didn't answer. When she finally showed up at the house, crying, I was already gone. I'd left her a note that simply said, "The husband you lied to doesn't exist anymore. Good luck explaining the rest." The media went wild. My company released a statement about internal fraud and misconduct. Marcus was arrested, and Claire, well, she became the public face of betrayal. I heard she tried to run, but everything she owned was in my name. The double life she built collapsed on top of her, like the walls of a burning house. Months later, she sent me an email. A desperate one. "I loved you," she wrote. "I just wanted more." I stared at that line for hours. More what? More lies? More games? Because she had everything. A husband who trusted her, a home, a life built from love. But greed never sleeps. It's been a year since then. I moved to another city, restarted my life quietly. People call me paranoid now. I don't mind. I check every detail, question every smile. Betrayal teaches you that trust is a luxury, not a gift. But here's the truth I learned the hard way. The people closest to you can hide the darkest versions of themselves. And sometimes the love you think you're protecting is just a mask hiding a knife. So if you're listening to this and something in your gut tells you something's off, don't ignore it. Because sometimes the person sleeping beside you might not just be lying to you. They might be living another life entirely. That's the story of my wife's double life. The truth that shattered our marriage. If you found this as shocking as I did living through it, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life betrayals, and remember, the truth always finds its way out. Sometimes late, sometimes loud, but always painfully.